I was in the middle of a client meeting when the lobby doors burst open so violently that every head turned. There she was, Karen Miller, president of the HOA, and also the building's office manager. Her face was red, eyes blazing, and her heels clicked sharply across the marble floor like a war drum. "You're fired. Effective immediately," she shouted, pointing a manicured finger directly at me. Her voice echoed across the lobby, bouncing off the walls. "Pack your things and get out within the hour." My clients froze, unsure how to react. I felt my cheeks flush, but I straightened my shoulders. Karen was in her element, savoring every second of my humiliation. She thrived on power, control, and the fear she could instill. What she didn't know was that I now owned the building. 2 months ago, after inheriting a substantial sum from my late uncle, I quietly formed a holding company and purchased this very property. The deal had closed that morning, completely under the radar. I smiled faintly. "I think there's been a misunderstanding, Karen." Her eyebrows shot up. "Misunderstanding? There's no misunderstanding. You're fired. Now leave before I call security." I nodded slowly, keeping my voice calm, almost teasing. "Perhaps, but I think you'll want to hear about the paperwork first." Deliberately, I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer in front of her. "Yes, James, everything is finalized. The building is officially mine as of 9 a.m. today. Please prepare the new management notices for tomorrow." Her mouth opened slightly. Color drained from her face. For a brief second, she didn't know what to say. The next morning, I arrived early with the property management team. Notices went up. Smith Properties is the new owner of Oakwood Professional Center. All inquiries should be directed to the new management. At precisely 9 a.m., Karen swiped her access card. Red light. She tried again. Nothing. She pounded on the glass. Employees had gathered, whispering, trying not to laugh, but wide-eyed, captivated by the unfolding drama. She stormed toward her office only to find the locks had been changed. Her face twisted in disbelief. "Where is he?" she demanded, spinning to face the crowd. "I'm right here," I said calmly, stepping forward. "Your position has been eliminated. Effective immediately." Karen's strangled laugh cut through the lobby. You can't. This is my building. I've managed this place for 7 years. I'll sue you for wrongful termination." I handed her a business card. "You're welcome to speak with my attorneys. But you should also know I have documentation of your behavior, including employee testimony about harassment, intimidation, and workplace bullying." She completely lost control. Screaming, she grabbed a potted plant and hurled it across the lobby, narrowly missing an elderly client who had just entered. Then she shoved the reception computer to the floor. "This is my building. You're all fired." Security tried to restrain her. She slapped a guard. Threats flew. The crowd watched, stunned, as the woman who once commanded fear now faced the reality of her own meltdown. Within minutes, the police arrived. They restrained her and led her out, but her voice echoed through the lobby, screaming threats and promising revenge. The following week, Karen faced multiple charges: disorderly conduct, destruction of property, assault, and trespassing. The judge, unimpressed, sentenced her to 100 hours of community service, $7,000 in damages, and issued a restraining order preventing her from coming within 100 feet of the building. The HOA board convened an emergency meeting. With video evidence circulating among residents, they voted unanimously to remove her as president. Karen, the woman who had terrorized employees and residents alike, was now completely powerless. Employees whispered and smiled quietly among themselves. Some approached me, shaking their heads in disbelief at how things had turned around. One even muttered, "I never thought I'd see the day." I watched Karen sitting silently, stunned, her last vestiges of authority stripped away. Every employee who had once feared her now walked with relief. Justice, patience, and planning had prevailed. This was a story of karma, power, and strategy. The woman who thrived on humiliation learned the hard way that control can be fleeting, and patience paired with planning can overturn the strongest tyrant. Comment HOA Justice if you think she got what she deserved. Subscribe for more real-life stories where power flips overnight.